Yeah, so basically what's going on here is Mythic Plus Dungeon data mining indicates rewards now scale to plus 18. And this plus 18, it looks like you're going to be getting 402 dungeon at the end of dungeon rewards, and then 418 as like great vault rewards. So yeah, exactly. The maximum reward for end of dungeon chest is 402, which is equivalent to the lowest tier of heroic bosses. Taros, Primal Council, Sinarth. The maximum reward from weekly chest is 418, which is between the lowest 418 and middle tiers of mythic raid bosses. I think that this means that... I actually think that this is a good change. Bumping this up to 16, 17, and 18. I do think that it kind of infers that like Blizzard want to continue to add more incentives for like pushing your keys a little bit higher. In addition to that, like they feel like players are not getting rewarded enough. Doing 18s the first week is near impossible. I think it also is going to be like one of those things that Blizzard should be looking to try to keep like 15s being a relatively difficult range, because like what we have right now on live is, I would say something around the 20 keystone range is the old 15, like the 0.0 patch equivalent of like a 15, maybe even higher, maybe even like 23 or 24 is like the 0.0 patch equivalent. And so obviously like these 18s are going to be very difficult to achieve. You're never going to be able to, like, I don't even know if it's doable week one. I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say probably not, just looking at how it's historically been. And so I think that this will be a good change in the long run. Allow this, but at the same point, this forces Blizzard to try to, like, they need to balance the dungeons a bit more, right? They need to make sure that 15 is still not as free. Make sure that players aren't doing 30s or 33s or whatever on live, to make sure, because if you're going to properly incentivize doing higher level keys, you can't just have the highest level key being 2x the level of whatever the highest loot reward is. So, yeah. I think this is fine. I think it's a fine change. I think it'll be better long term. I'm interested to see if they're actually going to bump it up to like 20. I'm surprised that 18 is the dungeon level that they're ending at, because I feel like they could have bumped it all the way up to 20 and it would have made sense. And then have something like 25 be the real upper echelon of keys that you can do. Maybe even get to like that 27, 28 level, and just don't really let people push past like 30. I don't feel like, and this is weird, but I don't think that 30, doing a higher than a 30 level keystone is very healthy for the game, just generally. And so I think that maybe some more aggressive tuning to make sure that the dungeons are scaled further down every single season is nice. Would be a cool change. And then obviously properly incentivizing players to make sure that players are going to be adequately rewarded for doing higher level content for M+ is a good thing. I think that this is just pushing M+ in a better direction, and kind of giving more legitimacy to it as actual end game content. What happens beyond 30 that you think it's negative for the game? I just think that dungeons were never designed to go past 30. Like, I don't think that dungeons have ever been designed to push that high. Like, we've never seen a, like, I just don't think that dungeons are really designed to go to that level. Nor do they need to. Like, well, what is the need to go to a 30? So someone asked, isn't it the same reward but from an 18? The answer is no. So there's three tiers of loot from the raid now. So one at 415 from the first couple of bosses, from the first 3 bosses, and then there's this middle tier that's 421, and then like the final 2 bosses give 424 item level gear. I guess some of them give 430, but like, because there's a couple items that are just like high roll pieces. But yeah, then this middle loot is like 424, and so this 418 is in between the first and the second tier of loot. And whenever season 2 comes out, they can put level 18 to a level 15. Yeah, I think that Blizzard just needs to more aggressively like slap down the dungeons early on, and make 15, 16, 17, 18, you should not be able to fucking zone into a key and be able to do near equivalent level dungeon that you did in the previous season. Like, it should not be close. Like, you should be doing with the first, like, it should feel like you actually have to progress to get to a 15, 16, 17, 18 again. Not like, oh shit, this is hard, but you can still do it week 1 easily. It should be like, oh, we really have to like battle to get to this. And I think that if they really continue to implement and iterate on those changes, and then properly reward and incentivize players doing an 18, it will be a good change. Now, you can't have like, it can't just be like half done, right? If Blizzard just ends at this and rewards stop scaling at 18, and if it just shipped exactly the same and there was no philosophical changes for how the dungeons are supposed to be scaled, which this kind of implies that there should be, but if there isn't, then I think that the system is less great. However, if there are philosophical changes for how the dungeons should be scaled, and then players are getting properly incentivized, it should be good. We'll see. Think this will be explained whenever Blizzard does the blue post about M+ changes in the vault? Probably. All right, I'll be back. I'll be back later. GN.